Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Ignition Time. Welcome to our channel, everyone. Thank you so much for being a viewer. Thank you so much for being a subscriber. Now that Labor Day is behind us, everyone is starting to get back to work. In fact, for everyone working, I want you to know that the entire country was actually built on the middle class. In fact, the middle class built America and unions built the middle class. These are not my words. These are the words of the President of the United States. Here's a tweet on your screen from President Joe Biden. The middle class built America and unions built the middle class. And President Biden tweeted this yesterday. This Labor Day, we honor all the workers and the enduring movement that keep our economy moving and are the heart, soul, and spine of this nation. In fact, let's play this video from the president's Twitter feed from the President of the United States. Let's roll the tape and watch what the president tweeted yesterday on Labor Day. Let's roll the tape and watch.
If you give an American worker just a chance, a fighting chance, there's nothing they won't do. From the steel that raised our cities to the workers who are the heart and soul and spine of this nation, American strength is here.
In the meantime, folks, there's a new trend in our country. Here's the headline of an article on your screen from the Washington Post. Why America has 8.4 million unemployed individuals when there are 10 million job openings. Yes, folks, this is true. There are more job openings than there are unemployed individuals in our country after a horrific pandemic and the worst economic crisis we have seen since the Second World War. The economy is undergoing massive changes, and there's a big mismatch at the moment between the jobs available and what workers actually want to do. Once again, there are 10 million job openings, yet more than 8.4 million unemployed are still actively looking for work. According to the Washington Post, the job market looks in some ways like a boom time situation. Business owners complain they cannot find enough workers, pay is rising rapidly, and customers are greeted with, "Please be patient, we are short-staffed." So what exactly is happening, folks? Let me be clear. We are still trying to recover from this deadly pandemic, and only 235,000 jobs were added in the month of August. There are still 5 million fewer jobs compared to where our economy was prior to the pandemic, and this reflects an ongoing problem in our economy, including childcare and including many daycares actually shutting down. So everyone is actually trying to find more workers. In fact, let's show you this image on your screen from the Washington Post. This represents the job openings now that outnumber job seekers. Yes, you heard that right. Job openings actually outnumber job seekers, and now the unemployment crisis will reach a new inflection point because the $300 a week federal benefits are gone. Millions of gig workers and self-employed workers have lost unemployment benefits entirely. Now, there are some economists who believe that this is going to lead to a surge in job seekers. Although in the 22 states that already phased out these benefits, workers have not flooded back to the job market. In fact, people are resigning. Yes, you heard that right. People are resigning because people are making different decisions post-pandemic. Resignations are the highest on record, up 13% from pre-pandemic levels. There are 4.9 million more people who are not working or looking for work than there were prior to the pandemic. There's a surge in retirements with 3.6 million people retiring during the pandemic, or more than 2 million more than expected. I also want our viewers and subscribers to know that there's been a boost in new business applications. There's been a boost in entrepreneurship as a direct result of this pandemic. In fact, according to Ben Bernanke, who was the Federal Reserve Chair from 2006 to 2014, the economy is going through a big shift overall, and that has ramifications. We are reallocating where we want to work and how we want to work. People are trying to figure out what their best options are and where they want to be. So, folks, there is a fundamental mismatch between the industries that need people back, between the industries, the most job openings, and how many unemployed people used to work in that industry pre-pandemic. And let's take a look at this chart on your screen. Job openings outpace unemployed in many fields. For example, let's take a look at professional and business services. There are 1.8 million job openings in that industry and fewer than 925,000 people whose most recent job was in that sector. In other words, people have actually started to leave that sector. Let's take a look at leisure and hospitality. Now, they also have more openings than prior workers, as do many other industries, including education and health services, and also other industries, including wholesale and retail services. So you can start to see that a lot of people have actually left the industries that they were working in for many years, many decades. There's a similar mismatch in education and health services, like I mentioned earlier. 1.7 million job openings and only 1.1 million people employed in that sector. According to Cindy Lenhoff, who's a 36-year veteran of the childcare industry, she currently heads the National Childcare Association. This is typically the time of year we recruit for the upcoming school year, but we literally can't get enough candidates, and we are seeing experienced people leave. If you get one good candidate, there are 10 others contacting that same person. It's a crisis. People cannot work without childcare. So, folks, as you can start to see, the whole economy is shifting. In fact, many companies say they are struggling to find workers, and many unemployed say they are having trouble getting hired, even if they are looking for a job, especially if they haven't worked for a year. Here's a comment from the forklift driver, Brandon Harvey. He said, I fear that employers are pretty hesitant to give you an opportunity right now if you haven't worked in a while. In fact, Harvey and his wife fell behind on rent and their landlord wanted to evict them. So you can start to see that many people are struggling significantly. In fact, companies across the country are raising their pay at a rapid rate to entice more people back to work, and the average pay for rank and file workers is up 2.8% in the past 5 months. Outside the pandemic, that's the fastest rate of increase since 1981. In fact, pay is actually up 8.8% for non-managerial workers in the restaurant and hospitality sector, and 6.1% for warehouse workers in the past 5 months. Now, some people are starting to come back because out of the 3.1 million jobs that were gained since March of this year, almost half of them are in the hospitality industry. The bottom line, folks, is this. Many Americans are actually changing careers, and there has been a rebound in jobs. However, people are leaving their old jobs and now exploring new careers. In fact, here's a graph on your screen. The jobs rebound has been faster than expected. Let's take a look at the rebound after each recession. You can see that the rebound took a very long time in the 2007 recession that you see in this orange color. And the jobs rebound also took a while, took several years in the 2001 recession. But in this recession, in this pandemic, which is represented in that blue color on the left side of your screen, there was a sharp decline. It's been less than 2 years since this recession hit us. In fact, it's been a year and a half, and a majority of those jobs have actually come back. This recession has been unlike any other we've ever seen, and hopefully unlike any other we ever will see, because this has been absolutely horrific. Here's another image. Jobs are coming back, but not always in the same spot. You can start to see that some states have recovered better than others, and you can see the states in the darker font that seem to be struggling more with jobs recovery. So what is happening? Some industries such as delivery services, mortgage lenders, and even breakfast cereal manufacturers seem to have sailed through this entire crisis without shedding jobs. They now have 10 or even 20% more employees than they did at the start of 2020. And the White House and many economists are hoping that a combination of rising vaccination rates, reduced or eliminated unemployment benefits because they are gone now, and more time will lead to more unemployed Americans to find new careers or to be excited about new careers. Where do you stand in all this? Are you looking to switch careers? Are you unemployed? Or are you looking to try and get your old job back? Where do you stand right now? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time. Please click the like button. Please click subscribe. Please enable notifications. We work very hard on this channel every single day, and I encourage you to support our channel by clicking the like button, by clicking subscribe, and by enabling notifications. Let me know what you think of the fact that America has 8.4 million unemployed while there are 10 million job openings. This is a re-engineering of the American economy. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Take care. Bye.